Welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. My name is Artem, and here is the news. For 386 days, Ukraine stands strong against the forces of the Russian invasion. Polish President Andrzej Duda announced that his country will transfer 4 MiG-29 fighter jets to Ukraine in the coming days, reports Militarny. He added that other MiG jets Poland has need repair. Germany delivered another batch of military aid to the Ukrainian army, reports Interfax Ukraine. The German Defense Ministry informed that the aid package includes 5,000 artillery shells, an unknown amount of high-precision ammunition for the Mars 2 multiple-launch rocket systems, as well as 25 generators. In addition, the package also contains 4 mobile antenna mast systems, 2 forklift trucks, 2 hangar awnings, as well as 500 SPF-9 pistols. The ministry also reports that Germany is preparing to transfer another 5,000 shells, plus an unknown number of missiles for the Iris-T air defense systems. Later, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz also said that the participants of the EU summit scheduled for March 23-24 will agree on steps to provide Ukraine with the necessary ammunition in a timely manner. Armin Paperger, CEO of the German defense concern Rheinmetall, said this week that Ukraine had requested the EU to supply 250,000 rounds of ammunition per month. He said such volumes of ammunition would be difficult to produce, as it will require doubling the current capacities. The Swedish government approved transfer of 8 Archer self-propelled artillery systems to Ukraine, reports European Pravda. Swedish Defense Minister Pell Jonsson said that the Archer artillery systems will help Ukrainian forces defeat Russian artillery. According to him, it is the ability to hit enemy artillery systems deep behind the lines that makes the Archer unique. Ukraine will receive the first Archers within the next several months. The systems will first be equipped with computerized fire control, then the Ukrainian military will undergo training, and the logistics hub for maintenance and repair will be set up near Ukraine. It is expected that Ukraine will be able to use 6 of the 8 Archers on the battlefield at any time, as the 2 must be kept in reserve, for example for spare parts. Earlier, Sweden decided to send 10 Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine in preparation for the upcoming counteroffensive. France delivered the AMX-10RC armored personnel carriers, which are also classified as wheeled tanks, to Ukraine, reports Defense Express. French Defense Minister Sébastien Lecornu said to the Defense Commission of the French National Assembly that some of the vehicles have already gone to the front line. At the same time, it is not specified how many armored vehicles were delivered to Ukraine in total. The AMX-10RC is a combat armored vehicle designed for conducting reconnaissance. It has been in service of the French armed forces since 1981. The AMX-10RC is equipped with a 105mm gun, a 7.62mm machine gun, and 2 electrically operated smoke grenade launchers. Ukraine's Defense Intelligence Agency believes that Iran took a wait-to-see position in the matter of providing Russia with ballistic missiles, reports Interfax Ukraine. Deputy Chief of the agency Vadim Skibitsky said that Tehran supplies ammunition to Russians. Russia is also trying to get other types of weapons, including new types of unmanned aerial vehicles. According to the intelligence, as Russia has started to suffer ammo deficiency, it holds talks with Myanmar, African countries and Middle East to procure them. We would really appreciate if you could rate us with 5 stars or the equivalent in the apps where you are listening to this podcast: Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify. This way more people would learn about the highlights from Ukraine and truth about Russia's invasion. In his evening video address, President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky reminded that a year ago the Russian military committed one of the worst crimes of this war. Russian bombs destroyed a theater in Mariupol. A building marked with the sign "Children" was used as a shelter. There were women with children, pregnant women and the elderly there. A civilian object deliberately destroyed by the occupier. We still don't know the exact number of victims, stressed the president. He assured that the day will come when a tribunal will be established to bring justice to Ukrainians and punish the aggressor. Chair of the United Nations Human Rights Council Independent International Commission of Inquiry on Ukraine, Eric Mose, said yesterday that the Commission's investigation into human rights violations in Ukraine has not found evidence that Russia committed genocide, reports Interfax Ukraine. Mose added that during the investigation, the Commission has noted that there are some aspects which may raise questions with respect to the crime of genocide, but they have not yet put in any conclusion here. At the same time, a report released by the Commission says that the Russian authorities have committed a wide range of violations of international human rights law and international humanitarian law in various regions of Ukraine, many of which constitute war crimes. In particular, these war crimes include attacks on civilians and energy infrastructure facilities, premeditated killings, illegal imprisonment, torture, rape, and other types of sexual violence, as well as illegal displacement and deportation of children. The Commission's evidence shows that in the areas taken under its control, the Russian authorities committed deliberate killings of civilians or persons not participating in hostilities, which is a war crime and a violation of the right to life, the UN said. The Russian Parliament Duma adopted a law according to which citizens of Ukraine who received Russian passports in the temporarily occupied territories can renounce Ukrainian citizenship after submitting a corresponding application to the Russian authorities, reports Interfax Ukraine. Ukraine believes it to be an attempt to legitimize the illegal annexation of the captured territories and illegal passportization of their inhabitants. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs stated that the decision of the Russian Duma grossly violates the legislation and norms of international law. It is void and has no legal consequences. Ukrainian citizens living in the temporarily occupied territories will retain Ukrainian citizenship despite Russian legislation. Known Ukrainian archaeologist PhD Yuri Kovalenko was killed in action in the Battle for Bakhmut, reports Novinarnya. Kovalenko was 56 years old. He was known for his work on the Ukrainian Cossack capital of Baturin. Kovalenko had served in the armed forces since 2020. The Highlights from Ukraine podcast is an uncommercial initiative of just two people, and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the app, subscribe to our Patreon. With your support, we are getting better. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.